Hello everyone, welcome to Naren Side with MS. This is Naren and it's time for Slow Down Saturday. And my whole thought of starting Slow Down Saturday last week was essentially to, talk about certain things I do to pretty much allow myself to, you know, take a pause, breathe. And the first thing that I did want to talk about, which I have definitely exercised or put into practice today, is much longer meditation times. Now, normally I would meditate anywhere between, I want to say, an hour to an hour and a half on a daily basis. Already, without actually having done my nighttime meditation, I've already meditated for an hour and a half. So I imagine at least today to meditate for over 2 hours. Now, for a lot of people, there is the question that, what does meditating for a longer time achieve? And the easiest way to tell you is that you definitely have the ability to slow down yourself a lot more when you are meditating for a longer time. It doesn't have to be more effective, but you are consciously slowing down your brain a little bit. And I think more so than us just sleeping and recovering during the weekend, which, as you all know, I do a lot. um, the other thing is that having that conscious ability to slow our thoughts down, to really focus on what are some of the things that we are resting for, allows us to actually have much better results with our unconscious rest, right? With our sleep, with our, uh, any other things that we do, right? So that is why I am definitely, this is one of the things that I am doing to ensure that I am definitely slowing down on Saturdays. And one of the funny things is, considering that Saturday just ends up being the day where parties happen, the day where the one day that we have to hang out with people, to socialize, to do all of those things. A lot of times I also question whether every single Saturday will be a slowed down sort of Saturday. But rather than focus on only Saturdays where I have the ability to um, spend a little more time resting, I think the more important part is to actually evaluate what this idea of taking that break, right? um, Spending that extra time to pause and reflect and really just make use of all of the free time that I have to the best of my ability. How is that going to actually achieve better things? So that essentially ends up being what I hope to gain out of Slow Down Saturday. So like I said, I am already an hour and a half into meditating. I do know that there is another pretty long meditation that I do want to do right after I finish recording this. So definitely I will be touching upwards of over 2 hours of meditation. And granted, this is the first day essentially that I am doing this. So really the effects of this will only start showing up maybe 3, maybe 4 weeks down the line. But I do hope that continuing with future Saturdays, considering that I am taking the conscious effort of slowing down, that regardless of whether or not I party on Saturdays, that I am taking the time to rest, to meditate, to reflect, and do all of these things to slow down essentially. I do hope that there does end up being some positive effect out of it. So, yes, please do share your thoughts, your insights, your experiences about what I should try to ensure that I am slowing down these Saturdays and ensuring that, that I get the most out of it, right? Even when I am resting, even when I am slowing down, there are better ways or more effective ways of slowing down. There are more effective ways of resting. So I definitely hope to get your inputs so that we can get a conversation started, so that I can definitely expand on my understanding of what slowing down, of what resting really means. So yes, please do give in your comments. But of course, with that said, I do hope that your weekend is going very well. I am, very happy at the fact that it is a long weekend. So I have definitely had a little more um, rest than normal, and uh, hopefully tomorrow when I look at my reflection in the mirror, I do notice maybe less puffy eyes as a result. But of course, with that said, this is Nareen's FMS. I am Nareen, and here's wishing you a good night, sweet dreams, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.